Hi, Magda.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Good. So working. How was your vacation?
Yeah, it was really great. It was really great time. My vacation in Greece. Amazing time, wonderful people, and I really recommend it to everyone who would like to visit Greece to leave their cars, buses, and trams and to experience it from the perspective of sailing on the sea, visiting coastal towns instead of staying in the crowd. It's much better.
Where were you exactly? Where were you actually you're on the boat, right? On the ship. Where were you?
On the yacht.
Yes,
yeah. We visited several islands like Poros, like Epidavros, Egina, also Athens. So about 6 places in 1 week. So I think that it's
cool.
Really good.
Good. I want to see more pictures. Okay, so next time, so let's go straight to the news. So we're on. So first story of the day. We've been out the whole week. I'm on vacation too, so I took the week off, and so now from this particular news video. So let's start with the first story of the day, Magda.
Polish e-commerce software firm Shopper leaps on Warsaw debut. Shares in Polish e-commerce software provider Shopper jumped as much as 22% on their stock market debut in Warsaw on Friday, riding the wave of an online shopping boom amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, just a boom in e-commerce everywhere. Everyone's waiting on this Shopper. I don't know if you've used Shopper before in Poland, but we'll watch how that goes. Interesting company in the right space. Great for Warsaw Stock Exchange. Another big IPO for them. Also on the e-commerce space. So good to watch that. Okay, next story.
Poczta Polska expands its parcel collection service with Biedronka network and PointPack. Poczta Polska has made it possible as part of a pilot project to collect parcels directly at Biedronka stores. Poczta Polska already has the largest click and collect network in Poland. They offer customers more than 15,000 parcel points.
Yeah, so they're fighting against the entrenched Poczta Polska, fighting against the big guys like InPost. Good deal with Biedronka, big player, smart player. Interesting, the whole ease of picking up things is getting much easier all the time. So we'll see how Poczta Polska in this grand battle with InPost, how it rolls out. Okay, next story, Magda.
Poland is the second most difficult country in Europe in which to do business. Poland was ranked second in Europe and 10th in the world among the countries with the most complex regulations regulating business, according to the TMF Group report Global Business Complexity Index 2021. This is Poland's worst result in history. The hardest place in the world to do business is Brazil, and in Europe, France.
Well, we usually have good news on this channel, but today pretty bad news for Poland, being such a terrible ranking in ease of business. Well, Poland needs to get with the action in terms of digital transformation. They're getting there, but a long way to go. But they need to look to Norway for inspiration. The Scandinavians. They need to look at Estonia. Look at Estonia. That's a world-class digitalization of business. So a lot to be done. I know it. I feel it personally. I know how it works doing business here for so long. It's getting a whole lot better, but they got a long way to go. Hopefully this will be news that will inspire them to go further down the digitalization path and emulate what Estonia is doing.
The next story. Polish UseCrypt tops in cybersecurity communication. The Polish company UseCrypt wants to respond to the cybersecurity and the lack of privacy problems on the internet that are growing during the pandemic. Governments and special services are interested in the solution of the Polish company that guarantees the privacy of conversations and checks whether the phone has been hacked.
Yeah, great for them. UseCrypt doing great things. They have got clients in Israel. Israeli security forces are using them as well. So they are obviously have created a great solution and a moment, a period of history when everyone wants privacy and security, and it's being ravaged left and right by every single digital company out there. So we'll watch how that comes along. But great job for UseCrypt. Okay, next story.
KION Group begins nearshoring production of forklifts near Szczecin. The new modern factory of industrial trolleys in Kołbaskowo near Szczecin will produce counterbalance forklifts for all brands in the KION industrial trucks and services segment.
And I think the significance of this was in those words nearshoring, because what's happening is you see more and more companies, European, it's moving production out of China and into Europe. This is one of these guys have been producing in China, these forklifts, but they're moving to a more advanced production in Western Europe, or in Europe, let's say, with very easy access to Western Europe. So the story here is really, this story is nearshoring. We're seeing it happening across production plants, manufacturing plants, and even on the business services side, with a lot of the BPOs moving their services to European bases. So that'll be a big story. We'll continue to see the trend there in nearshoring. Okay, next story, Magda.
Free Seas Regional Investment Fund amasses €1 billion, yet aims for €5 billion. The Free Seas Fund, an investment vehicle initiated by the Polish state-owned development bank BGK, has collected €1 billion in funds that can be used for energy and infrastructure investments in Central and Eastern Europe, said BGK's CEO.
Yeah, so we're going to be writing about this or talking about this 3Cs initiative for a long time. I won't say much more now. Except that it's gaining momentum. It started by Croatia and Poland. It's now being embraced by all the countries across Central East Europe. It's going to become a big deal. It's a great idea, and we'll be talking about it a lot. So next story.
Cellnex reaffirms active infrastructure ambitions as Poland Tower deal closes. Neutral host powerhouse Cellnex has completed its latest European infrastructure deal, closing the €1.6 billion acquisition of Polkomtel Infrastruktura it announced earlier this year.
Yeah, I won't say much about this. It's a deal already been announced, just a closing, so nothing more, not really particularly big news today. So let's go on to the next story, which is really about politics.
European Union scrutinizes TVN24 broadcasting concessions situation in Poland. A row in Poland over a proposed media law escalated on Friday afternoon, when the European Commission announced it would start monitoring the situation surrounding US-owned news channel TVN, whose license has not yet been renewed.
Yeah, and this is a story that we all know about, has political implications or linings, let's say, with TVN, who's been critical of the current government piece. And so the government is saying, well, we may not renew your TV license. That's an easy way to get rid of you, shut you down. So the EU is waiting in for this. I think it's good the EU is taking a look at it. There's been attack on freedom of the press across multiple categories in Poland in the last few years. This is another big one to watch. EU getting involved directly, huge American company Scripps getting involved with this. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Very interesting, and there'll be fireworks as this story unrolls. Okay, last story, an interesting one. Not our story, but this is the fact. This is sourced from Bloomberg Wealth. Great story. I'll have you start it.
Yeah, Mogul, who built a $1.1 billion fortune, still bikes to work. I like it.
Yes.
Marek Piechocki has built a $1 billion fortune, but the Polish tycoon isn't letting it change his ways. The co-founder of LPPSA, the country's largest fashion retailer, shuns the limelight, even avoiding having his photograph taken, and still rides to work by bicycle rather than limousine.
Yeah, so this is look, LPP, many people know the story of LPP. They don't know the story of Marek Piechocki, who founded it as much. So without going into details, I would encourage many of you to look on our website, BiznesPolska, for the full story, which then jumps to the original source, Bloomberg Wealth, the great profile of Piechocki, who has maintained his modesty as his fortunes have really boomed. So good stories today. Nice start back. Welcome back to work, I say, Magda.
Yeah, welcome back. And what about your holiday, Tom?
Well,
I see that you are more tanned than me.
I'm in Zakopane today, and unfortunately, my daughter broke her leg on a horse yesterday. God. So our hiking is over, and her days of walking in the mountains is over for a few weeks. So we're back to Warsaw soon.
Okay, but you're still in Zakopane, yeah?
In Zakopane, coming back next 1 or 2 days.
Oh, okay.
So good. So we're on tomorrow, 13 July. Enjoy the day. Talk to you then. Thanks, Magda.
See you. Bye.
Bye.